if you want to shoot in a 15-mile-an-hour wind, you actually need a longer tail. If I lengthen this tail, it would take more wind to put it vertically. I know from a shoot over at home, I recommend to everybody, if you're going to shoot with a wind flag. I don't care if it's a stick in the ground, waist high with a little ribbon on it. It gives you some idea of what the wind is doing. You will learn from what it's doing as to how you're shooting, as to what you need to do. I know that if that wind is 10 miles an hour, that my flag's going to be out here, whatever that's doing, but it's going to be out here. Am I going to shoot? Am I going to shoot with that flag right there?
Yeah.
Would you shoot your gun at that?
Yeah, but I've been shooting with it.
Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, don't shoot with it like that. Why? 10 miles an hour, I said, right? Well, I know it's 10 miles an hour. What if I told you it's 15 miles an hour? Where's that tail going to be? Or 20 miles an hour? It's going to be right there, ain't it? It ain't going to go up here. So I only know that it's 10 miles an hour. When it gets there, it could be anything above that. So when I like to shoot it is when it's down here. Actually, if it's halfway, I figure it's about 5 miles an hour. I can control that 5 miles an hour. I can control that half an inch versus an inch.
Plus.
I don't have to hold as much. I like to sight my guns in at night. I like to shoot them when the wind is not blowing. I might as well be in that warehouse. When that wind quits blowing, that flag's hanging like that. That's when I want to zero the gun in. If I'm going to bring it down here the next day and shoot in a match, I assume my gun is 0, 0. Now, if I come down here and I've got a wind out here like this, and I'm holding dead center on that target, and I hit dead center on that target, you'd say, oh, that's good. Why?
Zero.
That gun isn't zeroed because now I've got a 5 mile an hour wind coming from left to right. That means that I'm moving that. And that wind switches the other way. Well, I'm going to catch it. It's going to catch me. And I ain't going to be too happy. I'm not going to shoot very good groups. So I think everybody, when they practice, when I set up, if I know there's any wind at all, I have a flag or two at least to shoot with. And I tell you what, there's no better feeling to be out there shooting, and I'm saying, and I'm thinking about what I know. I'm thinking about what I've seen on here, what I wrote down, and I'm thinking, it's a good feeling when I hold there, because the wind's doing this, and that thing goes right in the 10 ring. The wind changes over here, and boy, and I catch it again. And it's guessing. You're guessing of how fast that wind's blowing. But after a while, it's not as much guessing as you knowing. So if you got a good gun, and it feels good when I can sit out there and shoot groups like this when the wind's blowing a little bit and changing around. Now, I expect to get groups like that when there's no wind at all. That's why I like shooting at night. Even 8, 9 o'clock, I go out there. I went out there the day after shooting out there when the wind was blowing a little bit, and my flag was just moving here and there, not too bad. That night, I forgot to pick up my flags and went out there at 9 o'clock to get them. Man, those flags are just dead still. That was the time to be shooting, to zero the gun in for a match or something. So, make sure that your gun is shooting straight where you want it to be when you go to the match. Do not change your sight in a match. Don't go tracking it with your scope by moving it. Even when I shoot center fire at 100 or 200, you go to 200, sometimes you have to move because you know that wind is coming left or right or whatever. And it's going to have a bigger effect at 200 than it does at 100. So, but mainly at 100, I hold where I feel that wind should put my bullet. and then I try to get it. There's two kind of shooters. One is what we call a chaser. Maybe, you know, I do it occasionally. And there's waders. Okay. What I try to do is, on my sighter targets, on the top of my target, I shoot my sighters. I want to shoot it with the wind blowing. I don't wait to try to get this here. I already know the gun's shooting straight. I know what that'll do. But I try to get the wind to coming here. I might try to get that wind coming here. And that's when I shoot my sighters. I can't be chasing every wind condition on that clock. I can't keep track of it well enough. So I have 2, no more than 3 situations that I'm going to look for to shoot. And when I get it, I want to shoot it as fast as I can before it goes away. It's hard. You can never get to a match shooting 25 targets. I got by with it a lot of times shooting 5. I mean, shooting real bullseye shooting or bench rest shooting, and you only got 5. Sometimes you get all 5 of them off before that wind changes. That's good. Here, you might get 5 of them off, but usually not much more than that before that wind's going to catch you in a different direction. Now you got to use a strategy. Mine is wait for that other condition. When I get in, I know where to hold already because I just tested it on my test target, and I'll hold there. If I get down on the target, I hate to get down low on my target and have to bring this thing back up again, because anytime you're moving the gun that far, it does something, and I don't know what it is. But it's just not like trying to shoot in one bullet hole, where that gun can stay consistently on line. So you're tracking the gun. So when you're doing, you're moving things, and to keep up with those targets. Well, I hate to get down low on a target, and I'm not going to get the condition that I want to shoot, and I'm waiting for it. I'm going to have to pick another one, and it's what's here right now. I got to go back up on my sighter target and shoot because I don't trust what it's going to be. And then I got to get back down here and hope that the wind doesn't change again on me. But now I've got at least 3 or 4 different situations that I've tested on my sighter. So that's how I do it, and it works for me. It might not work for everybody, but if you shoot enough over your flags, you'll be surprised what you'll learn. And you will become more consistent at getting bullseyes than you ever were before. Something to think about.
Those coffee urns got to be back.
9 o'clock, Dave. I'm gonna count on you for helping me there.
So you want me to take them?
Yeah. Any